Aaron here, and this video is all about how to get started with Google Forms. So let's jump straight in. First of all, there's three ways that you can access a Google form. The first one is to go through the app picker or the waffle here and to click on the Google Forms icon. The second way is to go through your Google Drive and to click on New. And you'll notice that Forms doesn't show straight away because it's in the More options here. So you would come to Google Forms and then you've got a choice of blank forms or from a template. And there are a number of templates available that you can make use of. So let's take a look at those. So as we can see, here within the templates that are available all through G Suite, you've got things like exit tickets, course evaluations, t-shirt sign-ups, event registrations, already made for you. Even find a time for a meeting, and you can use those to create your own forms, and you can adapt them however you might need to. The third way, which is the way I tend to use to access Google Forms, is to just open up a new browser and type forms.new. Once you've done it a few times, you only even need to type the F. Okay, and that takes us into our Google form. Now at the moment you'll notice it's not titled, so I'm going to give this a title. I'm going to call it Test Sign Up. Okay, and I'm going to use this one to find out who wants to attend a CPD session I'm running. Okay, as soon as I click up on Untitled Form here, that's going to rename it for me, and we'll notice that all of these things are saved in Drive. I'm now going to come across to the settings, and there are a number of things I can choose here. So the first one is that I want to collect people's email addresses so that I know who's responded. And I also want to always send them a receipt that tells them exactly what they've filled in. Okay. Next up, I can choose whether or not I want to restrict it to my domain. So if I was handing this out to teachers or students, I would restrict it to the domain. But if it was something I was asking parents to sign up to, I would uncheck that box. Okay. I've also got the option to decide whether I want to limit people to only one response as well. So you can either click that on or off. I can choose whether I want them to be able to edit it after they've submitted, and whether they want to be able to see summary charts. So I can just toggle those on and off. In the second part here, we've got our presentation bar. So you can choose to show a progress bar. If you're working with students and they're all sitting quite close together, you can shuffle your question order so they don't all see the same question at the same time. And also you can choose to show a link to submit another response at the end if you want to. And here you can just customize your message. So thanks for signing up. Okay. And then finally over here is how we could turn this form into a quiz, which we'll visit in another video. So here we say we're going to save, and we've got our form. The first thing I'm going to ask for is their name. Okay, so that has automatically suggested that it should be a short answer question, and I don't want them to be able to skip this question, so I'm going to make it a required question, and they would put their name in here. Okay, I then want a little bit more information, so I can either duplicate this question and it will make another one exactly the same for me, or I can choose add a question. So I'm going to add a question this time, and I want them to choose their department. Now, I could make that a short answer, but the problem I might have is different people might write things differently. So we might get art or art and design or art and technology, and that makes filtering more difficult. So to give us more consistency, I might make it a multiple choice or a drop down. So I might say art, English, science, because those are the three departments I'm going to be offering this to. And again, I'm going to make it a required question. And here I can make it a multiple choice, or I can make it a drop down. And it doesn't look really very different to us here on the front side of the form. But if we visit the preview side of the form, we'll be able to see that the first thing is it's collecting my email address. Secondly, it's asking for my name, and here it's available as a drop down. If I just go back and I reset that back to multiple choice and come back in here and just reset that form, you can see now it's a tick box. Okay. So it does change on the front end, it just doesn't change behind the scenes very much for you. Okay. Now, in later videos, we'll look at how we could then branch the form based on their selections here by reusing various different options like going to sections based on answers and creating branching forms. But with this one, we're just going to head straight on. And I'm just going to ask them a simple question. What would you like to cover? And I'm going to make that a paragraph question so that they can give me some details. I'm going to make it a required question. And with this one, I'm going to use response validation. I'll just move that out of the way for a second. I'm just going to create response validation here. And I'm going to choose that there's a minimum character count. I want some information from them. I don't want them just kind of going, I want to know more. So I'm going to say that they have to include at least 50 characters. I could put a maximum in there as well. So I could say I don't want more than 250 characters. And I could also choose a regular expression so that I would expect them to write something specific. But I'm going to keep that as a minimum of 50 characters. And if they don't, they'll get this custom error. Okay. If we look at that from the other side, just refresh that. What would I like to cover? I might say, for example, Google Forms. And if I tried to submit, obviously I'd fill in my name at the top here. I choose one of these, and it won't let me submit that because I need more details than that. Okay, so that's a really simple way of setting a form up. You can also ask people to upload certain things. So for example here, I might add a question, and rather than making it a multiple choice, I could make it a file upload. Okay, and that would allow them to upload something for me. So I might say, make that a file upload. I'd give the access there, and I'd say, please upload an example image. Okay, just change the spelling on that. And I'm going to make sure that it's an image by specifying that. I'm going to only allow them to upload one, and I'm going to make that a required question as well. So they have to contribute something visual as well. Okay, and then finally, I'm going to add a video that I'd like them to watch. So I go straight to YouTube here. Let me just do that again. We click on the video icon, come straight to YouTube here, and we're able to see anything we like. So for example, Google Forms, and we could search for a video on Google Forms, how to use Google Forms from somebody else there, and I could select that in and say to them, watch this before the session, so that we can get off to a flying start when we get into the actual session itself. I come back, I reset my form, and this is what the people receiving the form would see. So they would upload their file here, and they would also watch the video there just by clicking on it, and it would automatically start playing. So to add their file, they would just come down here. They might have some in their drive they want to use. They might have some they've used previously, or they might want to upload from their device. I've got a previous one in there that I'm going to use, and just upload it. And then I would click submit, and it would give me, as the person creating the form, a link to that particular document, so I'd be able to see it, as well as all the answers to those questions. So if I come back to responses, I click here. As soon as I get responses, they start to show up. So let's do that really quickly. I'm in English, Google Forms and slides because I'm a basic learner. I've got my picture in, I've watched the video, I'm going to click submit. I've got enough characters in there. I've committed to that. I've now got my one response, and I can see that there. I can look at my individual response here, and if I come down to the bottom, I can click on the image, and I can see exactly what it was that was uploaded. Okay, and if I want to, I can also pull all of that information through pressing on the Sheets icon into a Google Sheet. Okay, so that's how we can get started with Google Forms. I hope you found that useful.